Welcome, educators. You know that moment when a young student's face just lights up? That moment they realize they can take a whole jumble of words and actually turn it into a story? Well, that's the magic we're going to unlock today. We're building a bridge from single words to these big, powerful, complete thoughts. We're giving our students the keys to share their incredible worlds with all of us. So let's start with the big question. How do we get our kids from just knowing a bunch of words to actually using them to tell a story? That leap is the absolute core of what we call syntactic awareness. It's understanding how words have to work together to create real meaning. It's what turns a simple list into a message. And today, we're going to break down exactly how you can teach it. All right, here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with the why. Then we'll unpack the standard we're targeting. After that, we'll dive into planning, model the classroom routine, and then wrap up with how to differentiate and assess. It's the whole shebang from start to finish. Okay, let's dive right in. Before we even get to the how-to, we have to be totally clear on the why. Why is mastering sentence structure so incredibly important for our students in K-2? Think of it like this. Words are individual bricks. Super useful, for sure, but on their own, they don't really build anything. Sentences are the mortar that holds all those bricks together to build the entire house of communication. When students master this, they can't just understand the books they're reading. They can build their own stories and share all those brilliant ideas bouncing around in their heads. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. To teach this really well, we have to deconstruct the standard itself. We need to know exactly what our target is. And here it is. Now, notice those two key verbs, recognize and compose. That tells us right away that our job is twofold. First, we have to be reading mentors, helping our students spot complete sentences out in the wild, in the books they read. And second, we have to be writing coaches, guiding them as they build their own. See? It's a two-way street that connects reading and writing. And this slide really puts it all into perspective. Our students, they come to us at step 1, right? They have a toolkit full of letters and some words. Our job is to guide them to step 2, teaching them how to assemble all those parts into a complete sentence. This is the absolute critical bridge that gets them to step 3 and beyond, where they start using all kinds of different sentences to express really complex ideas. So what does it look like when they've got it? Well, we're basically aiming to turn them into little sentence detectives. They can find the who or the what in a sentence, that's our subject. They can find the action, the predicate, and most importantly, they can put those two pieces together, add some juicy details to make the picture clearer, and even spot when a piece is missing and know how to fix it. Okay, let's shift gears to planning. We're going to look at how we can use the evidence document, our first key resource, to make our instruction totally laser-focused and effective. Think of this document as your secret weapon. It literally shows you exactly what counts as evidence of student learning for this standard. It's packed with teacher prompts, what you can expect students to say, and examples for kinder, first, and second grade. It just takes all the guesswork out of planning. And the document gives us these powerful tools, like this one, for teaching coherence. We can show our students these two sentences and say, okay, team, let's read the first one. Robin ate the banana pudding. Does that make sense? Yes! Okay, now let's read this one. The banana pudding ate Robin. What? That's so silly. Using these super clear examples and non-examples makes an abstract rule feel really concrete and, honestly, pretty memorable for kids. The evidence document is also fantastic because it helps you anticipate common mistakes. And one of the biggest hurdles for our young writers is the sentence fragment, right? This document helps you get ahead of that by giving you tons of clear examples of what a complete thought actually looks like so you can model it really well and correct those little misconceptions right on the spot. Now for the really fun part. Let's see this in action. We're going to grab our second key resource, the strategy card, and walk through a classroom routine step by step. So the strategy is called sentence building with cards. It's this awesome, hands-on, multi-sensory activity where students get to physically move words around to build, expand, and even fix sentences. It's super engaging and makes a really abstract concept like sentence structure feel totally concrete. So we always start with a clear I do, using a think aloud. You'd say something like, okay, watch me, my turn first. I need a subject, a who, so I'm going to pick the card that says Molly. Now I need a predicate, an action. I'll pick marched. My complete sentence is, Molly marched. See, you're making your thinking totally visible. Next up, we move into the we do. This is where you bring the students into the process with you. Using a prompt straight from that evidence document, you invite them to build on the sentence. You might ask,
Great job, team. Now, how can we make this sentence even more interesting? How could we tell how Molly marched? Turn and tell your partner an idea.
And this is where the evidence document becomes your teaching superpower for that in-the-moment coaching. Let's say a second grader writes, "The monsters eats the soup." Instead of just fixing it for them, you use a prompt. Let's be detectives and check our subject. The word is monsters. Is that one monster or more than one? Right, more than one. So our action word has to match. How can we fix it? The monsters eat the soup. Yes, perfect. This literally turns a simple mistake into a huge learning moment. And finally, the you do. This is where you release that responsibility to the students. Okay, champions, now it's your turn. Use your own set of cards to build a complete sentence. When you're done, I want you to read it to your partner and check to see if their sentence has a who and an action. This is where they really get to practice and make the learning stick.
But of course, no two students are ever the same. So a really crucial part of teaching this standard is differentiating your instruction so you can meet the needs of every single learner in your classroom.
And the beautiful thing about this activity is that it's so easy to differentiate. For our friends who need a little more support, we can give them sentence starters, like the dog blank, or even use cards with pictures to help them connect words to their meaning. And for students who are ready for a bigger challenge, we can ask them to be sentence superstars. Can you add a describing word? Can you connect two sentences together? This makes sure every student is working right at their growing edge.
So after our lesson, how do we know they've actually got it? Let's talk about how we can capture that evidence of student learning. You know, a simple exit ticket is one of the most powerful tools in your assessment toolbox. At the very end of the lesson, just ask students to write one complete sentence. This quick check gives you a solid piece of evidence for every single student in the room. And when you look at that exit ticket, you're not really grading it, you're analyzing it. You're using a simple checklist, just like this one, based on our success criteria. Does it have a subject? Check. Does it have a predicate? Check. And the big one, does it express a complete, coherent thought? This tells you exactly who's got it and who might need a little more support from you tomorrow. So, to wrap it all up, when you combine the clear targets from the evidence document with the hands-on routine from the strategy card, you have this incredibly powerful, proven path to teaching sentence structure. You are ready. So the only question left is, what amazing sentence are your students going to build first?